Hi, I'm Lothar Myck. I'm a multi-instrumentalist and musician / producer, and I write original and cover other artists' music. On Bandcamp, I got 2 albums right now. The second one's a concept album. The first one I did, I don't finish songs. I'm really bad at that. But it was like, there were 10 songs that I did finish and was happy with. I cut up cereal boxes and taped them together and put CDs inside of them and gave them to my friends and family. But then the second one was a little bit better, and then the third one I spent a lot of money and made them more professional, and I have books and CDs that I'm selling. And I've done a whole random amount of just covers and singles released online too. Get my ideas from stuff I'm listening to. So if I'm listening to lots of really guitar heavy stuff, I'll just be playing guitar and I'll come up with a couple ideas and then start recording stuff if I have cool enough ideas. If I'm just killing time, I might just open up software on my computer and just start goofing around with plugins. If I'm sitting down to write something though, I'll probably pick up my guitar because I'm most comfortable with it. If I could just bring anyone back from any point in time,
sure,
and jam with them, it would be Rush, definitely. My favorite band of all time. My dad always had them on when I was growing up. It was kind of catchy and had cool guitar riffs and it was loud. But then I started to get older and started to understand it's not just music, there's depth behind it, the lyrics mean something. It's 3 guys that make so much noise and it's cool, and they sing about sci-fi and fantasy books. They have a song about Lord of the Rings. And it's the nerdiest thing ever, but they make it sound so cool. I really like music, progressive rock music that's based on books and stuff, and there's lots of metal music that's based on fantasy books, and I want to make music like that, so to try and work like those artists, I'm trying to get in the same headspace that they are. My parents bought me my first guitar, and I had to play scales for half an hour or something, and then we'd split. I'd pay for half of my new guitar, and my parents would pay for that second half. Because the first guitar was acoustic, and then so the second guitar was going to be an electric guitar. And I didn't have enough money to buy my own guitar at that point. I like listening to lots of metal and lots of really guitar-driven music, but synthesizers are a lot easier and more fun to just get into right away, and compose with synthesizers a lot quicker. The ones that I'm most proud of and happy with are ones that I wasn't thinking at all even. I'm not even thinking about. It's just this sounds cool, just do that. Next thing, this. Only problem with that though is then I just never finish them once I get to that, because it just keeps going, and the next thing you got an hour-long song. It's just all these weird things that don't fit together anymore. The problem is I come up with all these ideas, and then it's it seems like work, because I gotta work on this idea. So then I'll end up just making up something random, and then that just starts as a whole new idea itself. So I want to make this spaghetti western album that I've wanted to do for a while. But then I'll open up my computer, and I'll start messing around with some synth plugins. And spaghetti western music doesn't really have synthesizers in it. So it's I'll come up with a really cool idea, and then I'll just not work on it. And then that not working on it turns into its own idea. There's a lot of bouncing back and forth. It's got to start like that, but then I got to know when to stop. Set a deadline. I'll finish the song, then I'll try and mix it, because I can't mix. I like listening to vinyl records, it's cool. Having CDs is cool to me. Actually owning it feels a lot better. It's something that I, as a consumer, like to have. If one of my favorite bands from today were to release an album, I'd want them to release it on vinyl with a whole box set and a whole book. If I'm releasing it, I'm thinking maybe the people that listen to my music are kind of like me and would want that same kind of thing. And it's also it's cool to have I got a book and it has my name on it, and it's I did this. It's a physical thing that I can hold in my hand and be I made this. I can't tell that CD and MP3 audio quality is supposedly way different. I can't tell the difference when I'm listening to it. And if records didn't have crackle, I wouldn't be able to tell. I don't listen that close really. Most of the time I just listen to the vocals. But it's big. And it's it's there. And also, artwork is a big deal. It's important to me. And it's cool to have the really big artwork. And records have all the liner notes, you can write forever and have big pictures and everything. It's fun. It forces you to listen to it in order. You're listening to a song on Spotify, you can just skip whatever, you can listen to the first 2 seconds of it. If you're going to listen to a record, you're not likely going to do that. You're sitting there because you want to listen to the music. So it's more about the music than just having something on in the background. It's a very sci-fi, dystopian, futuristic revenge story. Watching lots of sci-fi TV shows and reading that kind of books, and listening to lots of synthwave music, and synthwave music there's not much synthwave music about fantasy and knights and swords and stuff, so you got the robots and spaceships, so I went towards that. The story is about a cop in the future and his struggle against the weird political landscape. Don't got the confidence to sing yet, so it had to be instrumental, so I had to figure out how to make that work. And the idea was to make it like a score. So if it was a movie, how would I score it? Like if I have the story, if it's a movie in my head, how would I score that scene? So the music definitely follows the writing. Like when I was doing it, I had each chapter, I was test reading them, timing myself. It takes me about a minute to read through this one. So the song's got to be like, the first paragraph is a minute, and the first paragraph is a lot really fast paced. So the first minute of this song is going to be have a faster tempo and a lot more higher dynamic range. And also, like, when you listen to a Pink Floyd album, there's all these weird sound effects that bridge the songs together. Like Dark Side of the Moon, the entire album is one song, and it's really cool. So I wanted it to work so you could listen to the songs by themselves, because I know lots of people don't still listen to albums all the way. But then for the people that do, I wanted it to be there so when you do listen to it, it's just a little thing you can smile about. I wanted it to be like a box set, but like, I don't know what you really put in a box set other than like demos. My versions of demos sound like they're songs. I'm not recording it on tape or anything, right? So the demos aren't really any worse than the original, or the album version. So I didn't know what else to put in the box set, so I got a book, because it has a story, so I wanted to have a physical book to go with it, and there's a CD in the back, and then 3D printed the logo with a ribbon for the bookmark. It's usually not that bad, but like, I mean, I can just put headphones on. If they complain, I know to stop, because that means it's not any good. And if they don't complain, it means it's probably pretty good and I can keep going. My dad tries to be more like, because he likes music like I do, so it's more, he's trying to say like, maybe if you did it like this. My mom's more like, that part didn't sound good. You should not put that in, you should leave that part out. Like, the guitar sounds wrong. Or my dad will be like, maybe you can try changing the tone, put a little less distortion or something. So it's cool to have both sides. It's nice to be told just like, that's bad. Even though it kind of is sad sometimes. Sometimes like, I get biased when I'm listening to it because I'm working on it, and I've been working on this guitar solo for like 2 hours and I can't get it to work. Maybe it doesn't need a guitar solo there. Well, it's like they're the only people that really hear the stuff before it's released. So it's kind of like, if they don't like it, it's probably not going to get released. It'll just stay on my computer somewhere. When I'm making music, I'm not planning on releasing it. But then like once I get something, I'm like, oh, that's good, I should release that. So it feels good to be like, it's kind of just like the recognition that I enjoy being complimented on something that I spend a lot of time on. Someone paints a big painting that they spent like 3 days working on, and then just like, it's nice to have a nice painting and have people call it a nice painting. It's kind of like confirmation to myself. Once I graduate high school, I want to go to college for sure. I'm still working out where and like how and when, but I want to go to college to do music production. It would be cool to be like a world famous rock star, but realistically, it doesn't really work like that anymore. So I want to get a job where I can still do music and it be something I enjoy, and then on the side release my own music just for fun. So I want to be able to just like have like a mixing and mastering service or whatever. Like just be like a one-stop shop guy that is like the producer, the engineer. If you're a band and you want to record music, come to me and I'll help you do everything. My mom, because she's amazing. She's super supportive about everything. And she's my mom, I gotta thank her. It's illegal if I don't.